Hi, everybody. In 1970, a play opened on Broadway called The Gingerbread Lady, which starred Maureen Stapleton. It was written by Neil Simon. Now, Neil Simon had been an incredibly successful playwright up to that point, but this show didn't quite make it on Broadway. It ran about 5 months, and while Maureen Stapleton did win a Tony Award for it, it wasn't considered one of Mr. Simon's better plays. Some years later, around 1977, Neil Simon decided that the play might work better as a musical. So he called in MARVIN HAMLISCH to collaborate with him. That didn't quite work out. They both realized that The Gingerbread Lady just did not lend itself to being a Broadway musical. But during the meetings, they would each discuss their marriages. They would talk about how it was living with another creative person. At that point, Neil Simon was married to the actress Marcia Mason, and MARVIN HAMLISCH was in a relationship with the songwriter Carole Sager. They had already had a couple of hit singles, one of which was the Melissa Manchester song Through the Eyes of Love, which was the theme for the movie Ice Castles, as well as Nobody Does It Better, the Carly Simon sung theme from The Spy Who Loved Me. They parted ways, Mr. Simon and Mr. HAMLISCH. Some months later, MARVIN HAMLISCH received an envelope in the mail which included a script by Mr. Simon which dealt with two songwriters living together. The two characters in the play he wrote weren't exactly carbon copies of MARVIN HAMLISCH and Carole Sager, but he used that as a jump-off point to create these two characters. So Neil Simon wrote the book for the show, and the music was written by MARVIN HAMLISCH with lyrics by Carole Sager. They called it They're Playing Our Song. It opened in December of 1978 at the Ahmanson Theater in Los Angeles, but it moved to Broadway soon after. And I went to see the show, still have my playbill. This is what a 46-year-old playbill looks like. And it starred Robert Klein and Lucy Arnaz. Great show. I really enjoyed it. I loved all the music, but I loved this song in particular. This was my favorite from the show. It's called If She Really Knew Me, and I hope you enjoy it. If she really knew me, if she really truly knew me, maybe she would see the other side of me I seldom see. If there were no music, if my melody stopped playing, would I be the kind of man she'd want to see tonight? Does the man make the music, or does the music make this man? And am I everything she hoped I'd be? If she really knew me, if she'd take the time to understand, maybe she would find me the part I left behind me. Maybe she'd remind me of who I am. Does the music make this man? And am I everything she hoped I'd be? If she really knew me, if she'd take the time to understand, maybe she would find me the part I left behind me. Maybe she'd remind me of who I Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves. Take care of somebody else if you can. Lots of peace and love. I'll see you next time.